didn't know there was a 6 bar in here. That's cool to know. Oh, hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tuba. Welcome back. If this is your 21st The Rookie Season 4 episode review, we're reaching the end. Next week is the finale. And then we're done for The Rookie for the year. I'm very sad. Very sad another rookie season is coming to an end. But, you know, we still have 1 week to go. One more new episode next week, and then we'll be back later this year, hopefully, for Season 5. But this week on The Rookie, it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. I almost forgot it was Mother's Day because I usually think Mother's Day is on the 2nd or 3rd weekend of May, but for this year, it was the 1st. So I was very blissfully unaware of that. But anyway, so this week on The Rookie is Mother's Day. It's mostly, the theme mostly was around mothers. I think most of the plot points were like that. Just dealing with the love you have for your mom and just how much of an impact they can make on you, whether they are your direct mom, your indirect mom, or just knowing a mom. I feel like that was something about it. And also love as well, you know, just the love we have for other people and just the impact we make on them. So nothing really much to say. Let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So we begin. Nolan and Chen are hitting up a call, a stop bus, and the individual doesn't seem like he's a friend. I'm just like, okay, what's going on here? Well, what's the story here? What's the comedic value here? The guy's like, everyone's just overreacting to it, and I'm just like thinking, overreacting to what? They turn around, it's a freaking snake. I don't like snakes. I really don't. So they're on the deep end on that one. We cut over to the the Lopez Wesley household, where Wesley overslept on Mother's Day. He had a big Mother's Day breakfast plan, taking care of Jack, and he overslept. Which, honestly, I can relate to the oversleeping part. Jack was awake for 3 hours. Lopez was awake for 3 hours, and she's not entirely happy. But you know, Wesley's gonna make it up to her. He's gonna take care of Jack while he has to do one more client visit, as well as before just running some errands before he has to go meet up with him and his mom before their Father's Day brunch. So he lets Lopez kind of do that. So so then we cut over to the station. Nolan's there. No, wait, did we get a scene? Yeah, so Nolan's prepping his shop, and Gray tells him about, you know, good luck on the FTO exam next week. You know, it's a big deal. And Gray decides, you know what? I'm gonna ride along with you, give you some valuable insight in the ways of the leadership role. So Nolan is happy about that. He very much is. And yeah, it's a good experience all around. Gray hasn't really kind of is on like at first is on a little bit of like a loose leash because, like, you know, his wife told him it's all good, you don't have to really pay attention to me this Mother's Day. You know, Dominique's gone, their daughter, so they're on easy street this year. Oh, he's on easy street this year, and no one's like, well, I mean, if you're married to the same one for 25 years, then I'm pretty sure you should pick up on the signs when she's joking around. And Gray's like, oh no. I love the dynamic between these two. I really do. Bradford shows up to the station. No, it's first Chen and her boyfriend, or ADA boyfriend. He's trying to convince her to come along for this Mother's Day thing so that they can meet, so that she can meet them. And it's very much of the case where she doesn't kind of want to, because, you know, she's already kind of on a permanent strike on Mother's Day because of her mother, since what happened back in season 3. So she's not really feeling the love right now for mothers, so she's letting him pass. Bradford and his girlfriend are planning a vacation to Hawaii coming up soon, so they're getting ready for that. And, well, Bradford is unaware of the fact that when you take a woman to Hawaii, there's a natural assumption that there's going to be a big old ring coming back home with them. And everyone but Bradford is aware of that, except for, of course, Bradford. Even Chen, like, as soon as they all leave the room, it's like, oh, you're proposing to her? Like, this is great. And Bradford's like, no, we've been dating a few months. It doesn't mean I'm ready to commit to life with her. Which I'm like, well, you might have given her the wrong expectation. Let's say that. And with Bradford, there's a certain expectation you need to get. So where do we pick up with that? We pick up with yeah. So Wesley's hitting up a client across town. I think it's at the same station, and it seems to be going well at first, but however, sadly, the person he's trying to defend and take care of, sadly got a very much of a classic case of being overcharged, where she may have stolen one bag of chips, but they're charging her like a felony, which is honestly like, bro, a bag of chips like $2.50, like it's not really the end of the world here, but what can you do? But of course, obviously, Wesley's kind of feeling tied up here because like the lawyer that's taking care of the charges is very notorious for overcharging his suspects, individuals. I don't remember what the term was. But Wesley takes note of this and heads off with his baby so that he can go have some proper conversations. Lopez is already at brunch with her mom, and they're already, you know what? Screw it. Let's just have a nice casual brunch between us, you know. I always forget how close these two are, because I guess Wesley, I don't know, I kind of think like Wesley's like, this isn't going to work well. This is just a class of personalities. Meanwhile, these two are like, who cares? We're just here to have fun. They're ready to drink some mimosas, have some food, and then, oh yeah, I forgot there was another thing I have to background you about before we get to that scene. So both teams are running calls. Gray and Nolan hit up the set of the actress we saw a few weeks ago, about earlier this season, the method actress, the one who literally went up to a bunch of gang members and look, you know, tell me what you know, like something like that. It's been a while. And apparently it's a really messed up craft services table. Turns out she yelled at an assistant for putting a crouton in her salad, which I'm like, wait, you threatened to fire an individual because you put one lone crouton in your salad. I mean, there's a case of calling you just flip the crouton off. I mean, whenever someone serves me beans on a plate, I just throw it away. It's not a big deal. Or give it back to them and say, hey, here, can you take just this piece back? I'll throw out the rest, like something like that. And the assistant kind of went all crazy on her, and she kind of made a mess of the table and ran off. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, as Chen continues to battle Bradford on, like, you know, no expectations and, like, you know, the Hawaii thing and all that sort of things, they respond to a call at a nearby country club or just nearby fancy, something with a valet service, where one of the valets got really mad at a client, so he punched another valet in the face, took a Porsche, and took all the car keys with him for some reason, even though I don't think there's a purpose to taking all the car keys, but whatever, he just drives off on there. So then we head over back to the brunch spot where two individuals are robbing the place, and yeah, it's clear today that, yeah, these are the two individuals that we just mentioned before. They're taking everything. They're even taking Lopez's brand new bracelet she got for Mother's Day, some pearls off her mother-in-law's neck, and Lopez just promises them, look, I may not be able to arrest you now, but I will arrest you. I make that a promise. And they're like, who cares? You're talking BS. Like, we're going to win here. It's like, I love it whenever people do, whenever the bad guy says, like, oh, I don't believe you. Like, we're going to win. We're going to, like, get away with this scot-free. Anyway, so Lopez clocks in for duty. Also, Harper's there, too, because apparently Donovan, Harper's ex-husband, apparently just took their daughter to go see his mother for the day, which I'm thinking to myself, wait, no, that's not how it works. Like, normally, if you're divorced and you have a daughter, like, well, the daughter goes with the mother. Daddy, if your mom's still alive, you go to her. That's how it works. You don't drag them along without consulting, you know, in this case, Harper. And since Harper's new husband is off with his ex-wife for the date, so that his kids can go spend time with their mom, it becomes nice days. Like, yeah, Donovan's still very much salty for what Harper did to him earlier this season, which, again, I'm still surprised they're not using the baby thing. Like, maybe I'm thinking way too clear into this. Maybe I am, but it's just too much of a coincidence. So Harper's mad. She doesn't want to be there, but, you know, she's getting time and a half, so it doesn't really matter to her. So Lopez is head down to this case, making sure that they have to find out any sort of thing that they can find against this person. Well, not the person, these people. She starts calling all the cell phones, which they somehow robbed at some point during that scene, because that scene was very quick, in my opinion. So she starts calling them. They do answer one of them, and they're just, it's just the background information. These two had like a had much of a history of being locked up, being arrested, but for very minor offenses. And after they got out of prison, the last time they had a sentence, they actually decided to try and go straight. But of course, this happened, so it could have been a case of just having a bad day, and they were just like done with life. So they get left off at that point. And the couple is basically harassing Lopez because, like, they say, we suffered enough. What people say of, like, if you work hard in life, you'll get what you just deserve. That's not how it is. We're just going to take what we want and just live the life we want to. So they're still throwing themselves up like that. So now Lopez is even more pissed off at them. Gray and Nolan get reassigned to another matter. The DA is requesting their assistance in making sure a perimeter is safe for a person that's about to go into witness protection. This person was part of a gang for many years, and he's finally coming forward with some information he knows about some of the higher members. And this is enough to kind of guarantee him, like, okay, yeah, we're going to put you in witness protection. So if something happens, you're protected, or, nothing's going to happen to you. So they prep the area, and Gray's giving Nolan some, like, really good, like, indicators that he's going to be a great FTO, because Nolan is very observant, and the way Nolan has been taught through multiple teachers and multiple experiences in his life, and of course on the force right now, it would make him a very unique FTO, that to the point where by the time he gets there, the categories that he mentions that are normally the kind of like the ones that there's the one like you only do for the pay raise, one that you're going to do like because you want to control the authority, the actual teachers, the over explainers. Nolan is going to kind of be a combo of the four, as part plus his own flair because of his unique upbringing in the force. So which kind of makes Nolan a little bit happy, since that kind of is guaranteed approval that he could be an FTO next season. So where do we go from there? So they clear the area, they wait for the witness guy. He does come in. Very sporadic, very much like a very like on edge type of person. They're explaining the rules to him that, he has to stay outside. He gets a burner phone. He can only go to any outside areas in vicinities that have cameras. Any point he breaks it, he's on his own. He's agreeing to everything until the point where he is not able to go see his mother for Mother's Day, and he says he needs to see her because he's already let her down so many times that this is a avenue to potentially kind of get back in her good graces. But they're like, no, this is for her safety, for your safety. You have to stay here until you can testify in court, and these people are behind bars. So it is what it is. So they leave to go find, because Gray finally realized, yeah, I need to go buy my wife a present. So they go off, they're about to start finding a present, but sadly they get a call that the guy already escaped. So he did mention horseback riding with his mom when they were talking earlier. So they head off to the stables. They find him there. They're immediately yelling at him. It's like, you can't be doing this. You need to get back to the house. This isn't safe for you. But he's like, he's made a lot of bad decisions in his life, and he's really affected his mom a lot. So this little experience could go a long way with them, making some sort of amends together. But however, sadly enough, or coincidentally enough, the actual gang members figure out where they are. They storm the location. Nolan and Gray take out two of them with the help of this guy's mom, but the guy, being a coward, runs away to try and get away from everything. They notice in the car that these gang members came in. There was a third seat open, so there's another assailant out there ready to kill this dude. I guess the guy goes into a stable house or the feed house or whatever he runs into. The other dude starts, trying to find him, trying to taunt him of like, you betrayed us, I'm gonna kill you now. That sort of erratic. But thankfully Nolan catches up in the nick of time to stop the individual. That's all wrapped up. The only thing from that main plot line is, turns out the mom's actually gonna go into witness protection with her son because they still need each other right now. The mom still wants her son to grow up a little bit more, and her son needs her right now by this moment. So meanwhile, back in the other case with the wedding couple, they find out that they held up a bridal store, so they took a wedding gown and a suit. So presumably they're off to get a shotgun wedding, so they have to be on the lookout for any sort of chapels and stuff like that. Wesley's mom's just dropped off at the station. Chen just has a talk with her about her mom's issues and her situation with her mom. And she's like, you know what? I totally agree with you. It's not your fault. It's your mom's fault. You don't have any sort of reason to like reach out to her and trying to make amends. She has to be the one to make amends. So it's very fulfilling to her. And also, she does the same for Smithy. And I swear to God, we finally learned his first name in this episode. I was just like, I'm gonna just keep calling you Smithy because I am not gonna call you by that first name. Forget about that. So it was nice. It was again, mothers know best. My mother's debatable, but that's another story for another time. So I believe, yeah, Chen and Bradford eventually do get the location for the wedding chapel that they hijacked. They're live streaming the wedding right now. They sneak in quickly, but however, the bride-to-be spots them, starts shooting them out. Eventually, I forgot what happened specifically. I think, yeah, no, so Bradford and Chen get the guy, so he's down for the count, but the girl gets away, so they're on high alert for her. And then what we get to next is, yeah, so a manhunt's put out on her, but the guy's at the hospital. He kind of suffered a pretty serious injury because of the gunshot, so they're about to prep him to surgery. Lopez gives him a choice to kind of send a message out to her to kind of surrender, because the moment that she fires on officers again, they're going to kill her. So if he ever loves her, he needs to send this message right now so that she can even have a chance of survival. He says no. He's done listening. They're both done listening to other people, and he's not gonna let her. He's not gonna turn into one of them. So he says, absolutely not. She's gonna do the right thing to what she wants to do, and that's where it's gonna be. So they leave it off there. I want to say, yeah. So Wesley meets up with the DA, the ADA's boss. Duh. And Wesley's kind of a bit miffed about their office, about how they're just doing these overcharges just to like prove to the outside world, like, hey, if you do a crime, you're gonna get this amount of charge. Regardless of what you do, you're gonna get charged. And Wesley doesn't, of course, obviously believe that, because there's a thing about being charged for exactly what you did, not being overcharged for the sake of sending a message out there. And as much as the DA agrees with him, saying like, yeah, this sucks, this shouldn't be the case, but these other guys, they're able to do what they want. They have they're in this office for a reason, and if they think this is justifiable, then they're going to keep going with it. So obviously Wesley doesn't agree with it, but of course he just says, the DA says, there's nothing I can do, and he walks out. So Wesley's kind of hit hard by that. He talks to his mom when he goes to pick her up, and his mom's sharing his same sentiments of like, I mean, yeah, but like, it always takes the right person in the right positions to inspire a change, which kind of gives Wesley a little bit of an inkling of an idea. I believe we get to, yeah, so we head back to the wedding case. So the wife is, with a fake ass wig, sneaks into the hospital. She finds the guy's room and sneaks in to try and get him out. But again, like, well, this guy just recovered from surgery. I don't think he's in the right state of mind to escape the hospital. But thankfully, it was a ruse. It was another officer in disguise. So they get her. She's arrested. And they get their stuff back, which I'm like, that's great. Good victory for them. Oh yeah, throughout the entire episode, Bradford keeps getting chewed out about the whole thing about expectations and stuff like that, and we return to that night where, well, first of all, Nolan and Greg exchanged a few words. Greg's proud of Nolan for his actions that night and that day, and then all Greg's more than proved than ready. They're like, yeah, Nolan's ready to be an FTO. He's ready to be a leader and forge future minds of the LAPD. But he does joke around saying that, oh, I got a present for her. You didn't notice, so you ain't going to be a good detective, son, that if you ever decide to be a detective. And I was like, wait, what? So Lopez and Wesley are about to head out, try to establish the rest of their Mother's Day plans. Wesley tells Lopez that there's a good chance that he kind of wants to leave private practice behind and try to get that opening spot in the DA's office. Which, honestly, like, didn't you just tell Lopez, like, a few weeks ago you were going to, like, take more pro bono cases? I was like, you're really putting this woman on a loop here in terms of career changes. So, obviously, Lopez supports him, but at the end of the day, it is what he wants to do because that is his career, that is his life. So, he needs to figure that out for himself. Harper's about to leave, obviously still saddened that she wasn't able to spend any sort of time with her daughter. Thankfully, her daughter does show up, and it's all happy times. The grandma, Donovan's mother, shows up. Apparently, she was not happy with the fact that Donovan basically drove her daughter all the way up to see her, even though, like, well, it's Mother's Day, so she should be with you. And honestly, everyone's hating on Donovan, which I'm like, it's going to be even more tragic if they bring up the fact, like, oh, this baby, that Harper's carrying is not James. It's Donovan's. Which again, if that's the big twist we wrap up with next week, I'm gonna be like, I called it. I fucking called it. That's how I'll start the review next week if I was right. So Bradford gets to meet with his girlfriend afterwards, and he's basically being honest with her, like, hey, I'm sorry if I gave you some sort of expectation. Like, as much as we're great so far and everything's going well, I'm just not at this stage of like proposing to you. And she's like, I totally understand, and don't worry, I was gonna tell you no, even if you did, because I don't believe in marriage and I don't want to have kids. And I could tell in Bradford's face is like, oh. Because I believe a few episodes ago, Bradford did say, like, yeah, I would like to have kids down the road. I could be a good dad. It wasn't like an incline, like, I want to be a father or I want to be married again. It isn't that. But the fact that she's telling him, like, there's no way this is going to happen between us, but we're still great together, definitely is something that Bradford's thinking about. And it's also symbolically because for Chenford fans, Chen is noticing from a distance this entire thing. Bradford's still screwing with her mind, trying to pretend to propose to her, her accepting Chen's ADA boyfriend shows up, gets confused by the whole thing, and Chen's like, you know what, I'm gonna place a curse on Bradford's ass, and he's like, wait, what? So the big surprise that Gray had in mind for his wife is to give her horseback riding lessons, which is honestly very sweet. I would love to ride a horse someday. But after the whole Reeves incident back in the 80s, I'm like, I want to walk too, so I'm gonna just wear as much back protection as I can. So I'm gonna just be honest there. So they're having a nice sweet time. Nolan's the only one alone that night, because I'm assuming that everyone else is just dealing with Mother's Day. That sort of logic. We get a knock on the door, which I'm like, ooh, mystery guest. Who could pop in to set up the season finale cliffhanger? That's what I was thinking of. No, it's just, honestly, I thought for a brief second, like, are they going to bring back that character? Because, like, the way he's like, hey, you're here. It's like, oh my God, we bring her back. It's not. It's just Gray and his wife, which I'm like, well, you should be off enjoying your Mother's Day celebration. Why are you here? And I'm just looking at Gray's reaction. I'm like, oh no. What's the bad news? Because I forgot earlier in the episode they did mention that the whole Union president swearing revenge on Nolan for trying to make change in the force popped up in the recap section, just so we can remember. It turns out he is getting his revenge. Nolan's getting reassigned the whole week to another station by the border, 4 hours away from LA, during the week of his exam. So Nolan can't take the exam because basically the loophole is if he tries to take the exam and not go to that station, that would be a disobeying direct orders. And by the time he gets back, even if he passes with like 100, they're like, well, he's not going to listen to orders, so why would we make him an FTO? And if he stays there, he's guaranteed to miss the test. So I'm like, wow, this guy's a piece of crap. And obviously Grace's wife's like, well, okay, you missed this one. You'll go for the next test. And he's like, and obviously, sadly, he's like, well, the next test is 2 years away. And for someone in Nolan's position, time is definitely not on his side. So the question is, will Nolan be able to be an FTO? We don't know. We'll find out next week on the season finale. But that is it for this week's episode, the penultimate episode of season 4 for The Rookie. So for me, this episode was great. I love the focus on the Mother's Day. It very much was like we're slowly setting some stuff up for the end. It wasn't a very big like setup for the finale. It didn't feel like that, but they're definitely setting things up. Let's just say that we're getting some setup. But honestly, for this being a Mother's Day special, I thought they did a really good job with it. It was very nice, very sweet on all fronts. The main baddies this week getting their just dues was like, great to see. Always beautiful to see. Nolan being thrown one more wrench in the wreck for this season is very poignant. It's always Nolan up against the wall with everything. I'm still surprised. Where the hell is Aaron? Like, Aaron has a mom. Where the hell is he? I'm just saying, where the hell is this guy? And yeah, it was very nice and sweet. I can only imagine what the next hour of The Rookie next week is going to bring us. You know, I think that's going to probably be the craziest episode this season, and I'm excited for it. So we'll see how that goes. But until then, I give this episode 2 thumbs up. I enjoyed it very much. And let me know in the comments below what you think of this week's episode of The Rookie. Always like conversations down below, so please shoot a comment. And also, I swear to God, you Chenford fans, if you start blowing up my Twitter again after I have done with this review, I think I'm going to be seasick. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I think I made a swear promise I'm going to eat pineapple pizza if they somehow end up together. So that's going to be a rough one. That's going to be a rough one on me. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. Anywho, with that being said, this has been What's the Two from ActionX. Reviewing every episode for the 4th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's the Two besides our Rookie episode reviews. We're currently doing Walker and Under the Banner of Heaven episode reviews each and every week after brand new episodes on the CW and Hulu. So go check them out. If you only care about The Rookie, you're in luck. Next week is our season finale review for season 4. So check us out next week on Monday for the big old finale. I can't wait. You can't wait. Get hyped. Afterwards, when we're done with that, we're going to be doing a season 4 review, spoiler free for all the fans who have yet to see season 4. If you're about to start binging it on Hulu after next week, and then the week after that, we're going to be doing a season 5 predictions video, predicting what I want to see in season 5, when we're going to get it, all the usual sort. And then we'll be back later this year for the season 5 reviews, as well as the season 1 definitive full spoiler review, because I actually never covered season 1 because we started What's in the Tube the year after season 1 came out. So it's going to be a big old year for The Rookie, so get ready for that. But again, this has been What's in the Tube from ActionX. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionX videos. Ring that bell for notification when our next episode review is live. Please also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates that you may have for the channel. And also ring that bell for notification when our next video is live. But until I see each other, but I am really stuttering this week. I'm not, the week hasn't even started for me, and I'm already stuttering, so it's going to be a long week, everyone. But again, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. For all you members of the Rookie Nation, I'll see you all next week for the season finale review. But until then, peace out.